we are recording. Mr. Mo.
I'm ready.
Mr. Mo. You look ready. You look like you're ready to start your first day of flight attendant school, or you're about to go chase after Papa and the Stranger Things kids, or you're about to tell me the rules to the cult. I can't go by the vibe. You look very polished and nice, but I feel like there's like a secret behind it.
No, I'm going to knock on your door and ask if you know about Jehovah.
There you go. That's what it is. That's the catch.
Do you know the story of Jehovah? Can I come into your strange house and talk to you? Is that weird?
For 3 hours? Come on, brother. Don't be mean.
I don't know what makes people think that that's like normal behavior. Hi, can I knock on your door and talk to you about religion? No.
The other day,
get away from me.
Julie and I were, I think she came with me to a show or something, but we were on the way home and we were in one of those like longer subway stations where you go underground to the, across the avenue essentially. So you see a fuck ton of people. And there were these they were like upper 20s, early 30s, but they were like totally like hipster, like maybe even stoner dudes, but they were passing out like little like pamphlets about like Jesus and shit. And as a rule of thumb, I'm one of those people. There's two kinds of people in New York City with the little people that pass out the pamphlets. There's the ones that will not take anything. They're like, fuck you. They almost like, they just keep walking, ignore. And there's the person that takes every person's pamphlet, no matter what the fuck it is. And I am that person. So I feel guilty. I know they have a quota. I take that pamphlet and I pocket it. And then when I'm far away enough, I'll throw it away. But I will take that pamphlet from you so you can get your ass home. So I've had a million of those like stripper ones, like the strip club ones, burger places, hot dog places, you name it. I've had them. But this dude gives me like a Jesus one. And I read it real quick and I see that's what it is. And I said to him, thanks, brother. But like, not like religious brother, but like Hulk Hogan brother. But he took it as like me being like, thanks, brother, like like brother Jebediah. And he lit up so big and he was like, oh, you're welcome, brother. And we're here every Friday if you ever want to discuss anything on that card. Have a great one, brother. And I was like, oh, no, I didn't mean it. Like, sure, man, have a great one. And we just kept.
What made him pick you and Julie out of the crowd? Were you guys like heathens?
Yeah, right. That's probably why. She could see that I was with Julie and she reeked of the Jew that day. So he was like, we have a sinner here. He sprayed her with holy water and Julie started like squealing. Yeah! And then she flew away. And that's why they're doing maintenance at the PAT station because Julie broke the wall, She grew big Jew wings. They're actually dollar signs. Like, as Julie walks in and gives me like the look.
You're on the couch.
That's right, guys. I guess I'm single now. Yeah, man. Jehovah's Witnesses. And I wonder if they make any money doing that too. Like what do you like get out of that? It can't be fulfillment because let me tell you, I've done cold calling and we're in an entertainment business where 9 out of 10 times you will get, the door slammed in your face. So with Jehovah's Witnesses, it's got to be like 9.9% of the 9.9 out of 10 times. You fucking the door literally gets slammed in your face. Like for us, it's a figurative door. Like the literal door might make it more painful.
I think it's always like younger people, even like Mormons too. And I wonder if like they go back to the church and reflect and they were like, and the pastor or whatever is like, so what did you learn? And these young kids are like, we learned that people are mean. And they're like, yeah, you live with that. Remember that. The world is mean. This is why you have to stay with us in this church and you don't fraternize with the devil. You stay here with us because the world is mean. I wonder if they like use that as a lesson.
Or I said, well, how many did you get today? Only 2. Father Thomas. I'm so sorry. It's like, well, Timmy, you know what happens when you don't get to 10. Zip.
Maybe.
Not again, Father Thomas.
Statistically,
Hey, Timmy.
that could be a reality.
That's, or there's the ones that are like, like the weird Christians that like whip themselves and shit. It's like, well, that's gonna be 10 lashes now, Father
Oh,
Jebediah. It's like, and then they just sit there lashing themselves. We're those weirdos.
yeah.
So Christianity has a long, weird history, you guys, and it's like BDSM without the coming. Or maybe there is coming, but it's incidental coming. It's not the point. They're like, hit me, daddy. I mean, God. It's all for Jesus. Ah, yes. I've been a bad boy. Stick it in harder, Father. It's definitely some weird shit. So I don't know how we got here 6 minutes into the podcast, but here we are.
I started it by talking about Jehovah. Sorry,
Oh,
guys.
yeah. That's what the
what
witnesses are. We've seen everything.
You know what it is? I look different because I'm not wearing these right now.
That's honestly what it is. Without the
Yeah.
glasses, you look different.
And can I tell you guys a secret? I don't have a prescription. I just wear them to look smart. I'm
Well, there you
dyslexic.
go. Well, now I've been using. My brother got me Meta glasses for Christmas, and like I love them because I pretty much use them honestly as headphones, and very little other the features I use too, but mostly as headphones because then you don't have to have earbuds in your ears, and it's still like right there, and you can have a conversation with someone while listening to your music, and it's awesome. But then I'm sitting there with glasses all day, and now I know like with glass people feel, I like fucking like push them up with your finger and shit, like a
But wait,
nerd.
so when you wear these Meta glasses, can't you look at things too? Isn't there like a screen?
No, it's not the Google glasses. I think you can, where they're like
Oh,
the internet will flash. But with Meta, you can ask it shit, and it knows what you're looking at. So, like for example, I can be like, "Hey Meta, what's this?" And like if I'm looking at a picture or something, or like if a plant or some shit, or a fucking animal, or I don't know what it is, whatever it is I'm looking at, it'll like look it up and say this is this, or I can ask it about the weather, bullshit like that. And the cool thing about him, I will say, which I am stupid, so I didn't realize this until like 2 months into using these. These are non-prescription, so like they're like clear, and I would just put them on, put them off, use my sunglasses like here and in between. And then one day I forgot my sunglasses, so I just kept them on because I was like, well, I guess I'm not gonna take them off if I want to listen to music. And then I noticed that they started getting darker and darker. It's like, what the
oh,
fuck?
really? They transitioned too?
Yeah, then that's right. They're called Frank now. They used to be Mary. Transition. It was kind of expensive, but it was so worth it.
Well,
But
I'm glad they're happy.
yeah, they literally dim themselves and then they get dark after a couple seconds exposed to sunlight, and they know when you're out in the light, and it is the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen. So love the metas. But yeah, now I'm a glass person. I get it. I think people are kind of nicer to me, and now I get how like Superman feels. You know what I mean? Like it's like
So
Clark
how
Kent.
smart is Meta? If you look at one of your buddies and you're like, "Hey Meta, what's this guy's bra size?" Will it tell you?
I don't know. I've never attempted to look at someone's bra size, but I feel like that might be one of the forbidden questions for Meta.
That'd be creepy with chickadee, but if you're
Yeah,
joshing around with your
exactly.
buddy, I think it'd be funny.
Chickadees. You just call them chickadees. You just reminded me of someone.
Yeah, I know
Yeah. I feel like if Meta or someone was like, "Hey, what's this person's bra size?" Hey, Meta, she might report you to the police. But then again, you know who runs the FBI now, so they might be into it. Like,
who. Is Meta a lady's voice?
Yeah, it is a lady's voice. I think you could change it though, but I like her the way she is.
I
She's
wanted I
cool.
wanted to sound like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That would be great. Except with Meta, every time he wants something, be like, "Hey, Meta, what? Okay, what am I looking at? What?" That was his catchphrase for you. What? 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 It's like, no, Meta, you have to what? God damn it, Meta, what? So, yeah, that could get frustrating after a while, but I would love it. It's probably like Snoop Dogg's voice though. He's on like everything, which I wonder if they just like give him a dictionary and they're like, "All right, Snoop Dogg, go read every word
Oh,
possible."
shizzle.
Damn, man, this should be crazy. Yeah, no, I don't know. How do they do that? Or do they get a Snoop Dogg impersonator to do all like the filler words that they don't expect you to have Snoop say, and everything else? You get actual Snoop.
Remember when
I
we were
don't
in
know.
college and Arnold was so popular? We all did the
Yeah,
Arnold voice all the time.
I mean, I
Yeah.
still do the I do the Arnold voice at least once a week, maybe more. To this day, it is my
Who's your
favorite.
Daniel? What does he do?
You think it's funny? You're such a little weak man with your little neck. I'm a big boy, strong man. Watch me in my big super box office movie with robots. It's called The Terminator, and I'll be back.
I love Arnold.
Me
He's the
too.
best. I'm gonna use him as my sexy time voice during my wedding night, and I
Oh,
think
nice.
Julie's gonna love it.
I'm just like, yeah. I'm gonna hit it. Oh, I'm coming. I'm coming. I'll be back. I'll get you a towel.
That's so romantic.
That is
Nothing's more
that's
romantic
what
than
every girl.
being
That's
bent
what every girl
over,
dreams of for her wedding night.
being
Oh, okay.
bent over and getting jizzed on your lower back and being tossed a rag, all while hearing the Arnold voice. I mean, that's like every girl's dream.
I just go, Kobe. You can just stick a sock on there. So death do us part.
You know what?
Oh,
Last night
shit.
I was at this bar and the cocktail napkins were really stiff. And I was like, what does this make you think
Yeah.
of? To my friends, and they're like, I was like, you're thinking what I'm thinking? Someone jizzed in these fucking cocktail napkins. It's like a crunchy sock.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah, Simo.
That's right.
Oh,
And on that note, go on. Last point. We're gonna get to emails from the listeners.
I was gonna say we didn't say 3, 2, 1.
We've been going for 13 minutes and we didn't say 3, 2, 1. Oh my god, this is gonna be one of those shows. All right, everybody, we're gonna do this, and we've been doing this, but we're gonna do it some more in 3, 2, 1. What are you doing?
Testes in my mouth.
Get on the ground, you fucking pledge.
Ew.
Welcome to the greatest podcast experience of your life. This is the FratChat Podcast.
All young men like 3 things. Food, news, pussy.
Featuring Carlos Garcia and Chris Moore.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the greatest podcast in the history of podcasting time. It's the FratChat Podcast. I'm Carlos Garcia with Chris Moore. How's it going, Mr. Moore?
Hola. I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Well, I am fantastic. And I guess now it actually looks like we're very professional and we're going to get right to the topics and our segments here. So this kind of works out. People just
Okay.
don't tell anyone. And we kind of, did the thing. We like doing the thing. But it is time, ladies and gentlemen, from emails from the listeners. Oh, yeah. And it's going to be some good ones today, of course, as always. Let's see. Ooh, yours is shorter, but
It's
still,
always
very
shorter.
fulfilling. But it's still very fulfilling. Simo knows what he's doing, even though it's shorter, but it's got girth where it matters. So it's good stuff. So we'll have you start this week.
Okay. Okay. So this
Before you
guy's
start
also named
reading,
Chris. I was scrolling up. This guy's also named Chris. He's from Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, Chris from Georgia. Chris to Chris. I like it.
Yeah. So Chris said, "Dear Frat Chat, the laundromat got me in big trouble. I dropped off my laundry for a wash and fold, and when I picked it up, there was a random pair of panties mixed in with the rest of the undies. They're not mine and not my girlfriend's. My girlfriend is currently not speaking to me because she thinks they belong to a side chick. Do you have any advice for me?" Um, I think that the laundromat owes you guys a big apology. I don't know. I don't have any advice, but I guess I have more of a question for you, Carlos, and that is, if you came home with a garment from the laundromat that didn't belong to you and you liked it, would you rock it?
Ooh, well, if it's ladies' underwear, probably not. If it's underwear, I'm not gonna keep it just because that's so personal. But if it was like a cool T-shirt or something, fuck yeah, why not? At that point,
I actually, but what if you're wearing in the neighborhood and someone's like, "Hey, that's mine"? You'd be like, "Ooh."
well, I mean, the odds of that, like it would have to be a very specific shirt for someone to be like, "That is my shirt that you got," like I don't know. But I have had situations where me and Julie first started dating where, for a while, like my ex's underwear would pop up in laundry and shit that I just hadn't done forever. Cause I used to have 2 laundry bins and I would do one, but the other one would kind of stay full. So it was never like I always had laundry done, but my laundry was never fully done because I had to do it myself. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
for a long time, like something would slip in here and there and it got a little awkward, but it was like clearly like I'm not banging someone else. Like I spend most of my day with you. When the fuck would I do it? You know what I mean? Like so it's like
Well,
that. Now it depends on Chris's situation here, my opinion, on how she should be reacting. If he's like being sketchy and not home all day and all of a sudden you're showing up with ladies' underwear and from suspicious places, she's obviously gonna have a point. But if you spend all your day like working or something and the rest of the time with her, then that's obviously different. So you need to account for your time and be like, okay, this is stupid and you should trust me better. Shit happens, especially ladies' underwear is very small. It's like a sock size, sometimes even smaller. It depends how skimpy it is. And it can easily get caught on the rotating thing. Like fucking socks disappear all the goddamn time. So this could easily be the case. It doesn't shock me.
yeah. I think that a couple of things. I think that maybe Chris, you should put the laundry away. If you don't leave it for her. So if you just put the laundry
Yeah.
away, you would have found it and you would have tossed it out before she even saw it.
Yeah, the fact that she's going through your laundry is like, come on, dude. Like, if she's folding your laundry for you, like that's fucking lazy.
Well,
What are
I
you
think
doing?
my assumption is that he probably dropped off both of their laundry. Maybe they lived together and he dropped both of the laundry off at the laundromat and they picked it up and she probably put it away. But that's what I'm picturing. But I also think to myself, like, let's say I had a side chick. I'm assuming that after we do the deed, she'll probably put her panties back on and leave. You know what I mean? So like I've never like had a one night stand where I left my undies behind. I'm always
Same. And I've never had a girl who's just like not like, oh, where's my underwear? Every girl literally is like, hold on, let me find my underwear. And I've literally had a case where it's like spend like 20 fucking minutes looking for a goddamn thong somewhere because again they're so goddamn small. They just like get shriveled up somewhere, and then oh, here it is. It's like tucked into a fucking blanket or something that didn't search in, So, yeah, it. I've never seen that be a case, and I'm also not a guy who would ever want to keep like a girl's panties. It's like, ugh, That shit probably smells like, you know, old fucking Roquefort cheese. I don't want that shit.
Ugh.
Like, I don't know how dudes get off on that. It's very creepy, very weird, and just like all around gross. Like, ugh. Dogs are very sexy, but like, you know where they're at. They're fucking, like, why would you want to smell that? That's just me. That's my 2 cents.
Ugh. Well, Chris, I'm sorry that you're having a problem. I hope she gets over this, but I do think this is kind of like an honest like mishap.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us. I'm gonna hit you with the want because that is a common relationship like thing to happen to dudes. Especially in the beginning. I don't know how long you guys have been together, but shit happens like that. So hopefully it'll be fine. So
I think if it was me, I'd like, you got me. You got me. There's panties there. I'm sure you've noticed all the lipstick around the collar of my shirt, and you've noticed all the sneakiness and me taking the phone to the bathroom, and talking to people. And she'd be like, "What? Yeah, I'm lying. That doesn't happen." And this was a fluke incident. Like I haven't given you any signs of distrust or, sneaky behavior. Like, you got to get past this.
Totally. So I'm with you. Unless you are cheating.
I had an ex that gave me silent treatment all the time for dumb shit. And I was like, I just don't have the energy for this anymore. I'm sorry. It's not working.
Yeah.
He's like, what do you mean? I mean, like, this is like juvenile behavior. Like, you talk to me, we get past it, or like we keep it moving.
I'm not great with the silent treatment because I just feel like I'm gonna blow up. So I like need to just say what I feel at the time, and then I can just be like, okay, I got it out. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Like, we're cool, whatever, and then I can walk away. But I need to like say what the fuck I'm feeling, or else it's just like, I don't know. I don't like to hold shit in. It's better to just deal with it at the moment, even if it's uncomfortable. Then hold that shit in and let it build, over time, because then it can get real ugly. So, lesson. But anyways,
I'm looking at your email and it's so long.
Yeah, but this is worth it because I'm actually glad because I didn't know a lot of these details myself, and I wanted to talk about this. So it's very current. I don't know if you heard. Dak Prescott, right? The quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he just had like a crazy breakup, and Tyler from Phoenix wants to talk about it. And a general question out of this because it's like crazy. Okay, so I'm saying too much. Anyways, he goes, "Hey, Frat Chat, I need you guys' opinion on something because my group chat is divided on this." I was reading about what happened with Dak Prescott and his fiancee, Sarah Jane Ramos. It's Ramos, but I know how white people read it. So Ramos. And I cannot stop thinking about how insane this situation is. Apparently they were engaged, had 2 kids together, and they were literally weeks away from getting married in Italy. Then, instead of doing separate bachelor and bachelorette parties like normal people, they decided to do a joint one in the Bahamas. Which feels like a red flag to me, he says. And to me, it's like, did you not watch Vanderpump Rules? They literally did this. And it was a huge fail. You should have known better.
And we talked about this too.
It's like the dumbest thing you can do. Tom Schwartz already showed us how it blows up in your face. So come on, buddy. But anyways, he goes, which already feels like a red flag to me. That's like announcing to your friends, hey, everyone, please watch our relationship unravel in real time. Amen. Anyways, while they're on their trip, celebrating their upcoming wedding, they get into a massive fight, like nuclear level. Next thing you know, the wedding is completely called off, and guests who already booked flights to Italy are getting emails saying the whole thing is canceled. Imagine planning a romantic Lake Como wedding, and it ends up because of a bachelor party argument. My question is it a terrible idea to have a joint bachelorette party in the first place? Because to me, that feels like you're in a group project with a person you're about to divorce. Like bachelor parties are supposed to be where your friends give you terrible advice and lie to you about how great marriage is, not where your future wife is standing 10 feet away listening. So, you guys, Is the joint bachelor party the dumbest idea ever, or am I missing something? Tyler from Phoenix. No, you're not missing anything, Tyler. It's the dumbest idea ever. It's like, come on, what the fuck are you thinking? It's like, I don't know, like having a backpack storage for your shit. Either way, you're carrying around shit. Terrible idea. Why would you want that? It's just you just don't want.
It's like taking your dad to the strip club.
Yeah, you're gonna see some shit that you don't want to see. It's like taking your father-in-law to the strip club. If you enjoy yourself, it's gonna be weird. But if you don't enjoy yourself, it's gonna be even weirder somehow. But it's all going to be weird. It's going to be a weird situation. Maybe it's the other way around. If you don't enjoy yourself, it's already weird. But if you enjoy yourself, if you do have fun, it's even weirder because now you have like memories of, hey, remember that girl in Vegas?
It's like watching a heated rivalry with your mom.
Yeah, that's right. You also don't want to bring your father-in-law to a bachelor party. It's kind of like at that level, in my opinion. Unless you have a really cool one. But at your bachelor party, you're supposed to be like at your absolute worst mutant level, like human for the last time. You're supposed to be like ghoulishly boozed up, and your friends just ruin your life one last time, and in a fun way, you know. And having your significant other there, it's just not the mood.
Yeah, because it feels like you're like being monitored. You know, I feel like it's not about like having like tatters in your face. Like you don't necessarily have to go to a strip club. I just think it's an opportunity for your friends to celebrate you before you become like a certified like one entity unit when you and your wife do everything together. It's just one last hurrah where you just like hang out with your boys. But I do think that whenever I have some friends who've had joint bachelorette parties, and I think to myself, they can't be away from each other for one night, or do they lack the trust for each other to like go have fun with their friends? Like I think to myself, this is a recipe for disaster.
Absolutely.
So I don't know.
Well, the thing also is like you're both so drunk too that like any argument that you have is going to be like 10 times bigger because no one is at like a sane, coherent point. It's both of you bachelorette. So you're both like, I'm going to drink like my last hurrah. So you're at a 10 level of drunk. So you're making at one level rational decisions, you know? So it's like, how do you think it's going to end up if you argue about anything at all? So,
and then Tyler from Phoenix, if you're listening, and I'm sure you are, if your friends are defending a joint bachelor and bachelorette party, then your friends are fucking losers. So there is a clear right and wrong answer to this. And a joint bachelorette party is wrong and a red flag for a myriad of reasons.
Yes. Amen. Like we could literally do a whole top 10 list on this shit because it's like really a dumb idea. So tell your friends it's been decided. We have voted. The FratChat Podcast has voted. It's stupid. Stupid thing to do. Don't do it. Dak Prescott, you kind of should have known better, brother. Again, Vanderpump Rules. Already had a whole season on this. It was like a goal 3-episode arc, and it showed us it was a terrible idea. From the minute they walked into their hotel room, the fighting was already awful. So, yeah. Anyways, it is time now, ladies and gentlemen, for the news. It's time to hit it. I'm thinking of these first. Spirit fingers all the way. Okay.
I love spirit fingers, especially when they're tickling
really
my taint.
You can send a little blow. Hello. Oh, God. So, anyways, this story is just happened this week, and I'm surprised. To be honest, it's not much bigger of a story, or it hasn't been, because it's a tragic story, but it's also unbelievably fucking badass. So, at Old Dominion University in Virginia, this past week, a gunman walked into an ROTC classroom, asked if the instructor was so and so, whatever, and the guy said yes, and literally the dude started shooting, opened fire right in the middle of class. The attacker was a former National Guard member who had previously served prison time for attempting to support ISIS. And again, he repeatedly asked if the room was an ROTC class, then started shooting. Now, during the attack, ROTC instructor Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shaw, a decorated Army veteran and combat pilot, was tragically killed. The other two other people were also injured in the shooting as well. Now, here's where the story takes a turn that sounds like it came out straight out of a fucking action movie. Instead of hiding it or waiting for police, the ROTC cadets in the classroom fought back against the gunman. A group of them rushed the guy, they tackled him down, and one of the cadets fucking fatally stabbed him with a knife while the others subdued him, ending the attack before he could kill any more people. Now, authorities and investigators say the action almost certainly saved lives because they stopped the shooter within minutes before police even arrived. Now, obviously, the story starts with a huge tragedy because Lieutenant Colonel Shaw was remembered as a dedicated soldier and mentor who served the Army for over 2 decades and returned to teach ROTC at his alma mater. So we absolutely want to send condolences to his family, his students, and everybody affected by the attack. But at the same time, those cadets deserve some fucking respect, dude. Like, imagine being in a class and suddenly someone starts shooting and like literally most people freeze, but these guys were like, not today, motherfucker. And they dogpiled the guy and ended the threat themselves. Like, the college should just give those guys a guaranteed A and ass whooping 101 because they literally turned what could have been a much bigger tragedy into a story about courage and badassery. And as far as the shooter goes, condolences to the victims, their families, and anyone who was hurt, except for the shooter. Fuck that guy. And that's the news. Isn't that crazy?
That's incredible.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised like it's not in like it's I mean I guess like a lot of mediums covered it, but it's like smaller articles. This shit should be like front page news. It should be
It'll be a movie.
Yeah, like Liam Neeson should play the college kid.
Yeah.
He was held back a few years and then, had to join the Army and then he couldn't quite go to school until he was older. So that's why he's, 78 years old and a freshman. But
I was just about to Google to see how old Liam Neeson is.
He's probably older than 78. Let's see.
Liam Neeson is 73.
Okay. He's younger. Somehow, like, sometimes I see him and he doesn't look that great to me, But I think it's just like an old white European man thing. They just hit a certain age and they just like, they turn into ghouls. I have a certain set of skills, but I can only.
He does sound like that.
Yeah, he's getting older. And obviously it happens to everybody. It happens happening to us, but it makes me feel for him because he's still a badass motherfucker. But anyways, yeah, those kids are badass. I hope they make a movie. I would totally watch it. And maybe we could be in it too. I'll be the cool instructor who goes out, in a blaze of sacrifice. And then Simo can be like the janitor who he's like mopping in the background there. And yeah, you see him audibly gasp while a little poopy goes down, like his little janitor suit, and then you see him running as like the trail of poop goes, and then the Benny Hill theme song plays, and then uncredited the poopy pants.
You know what? I didn't tell you this, but at my local bar on Monday, they have a post about it on Instagram, but some like crazy guy comes in, right? This crazy dude. And he was bragging that he got kicked out 3 bars before. So we're like, oh. And then I think he like threw his shoes behind the bar. and started rearranging furniture, and he was clearly like tweaking out on something. And then he went to the basement where the bathrooms are, and he never came back up. So like I went downstairs at one point, and I was like, there's like 2 inches of water in the basement. And so then like
Oh,
I told the bartender, I was like, I think the basement's flooded. And then we heard all this banging downstairs. So this crazy guy broke into like the office and was like breaking stuff. And then he was like drinking like their stash of booze. He got into like their supply closet. And he was
oh my
like,
God.
he also I think broke pipes so that it was like flooded. So people got scared and left. And then my friend's a bartender, and I was like, I'm not leaving you. But in my mind, I was like, I think I
Get the
should
fuck
go,
out of
but
here.
but also I can't leave him. Like it's not
Yeah.
like that's not fair, you know? So I stood there,
Well, just
and then so
call
I
the cops?
waited. Yeah, well, the drag queen called the cops, and then 20 minutes later, I called the cops again, and they were like, "Well, this is the first we heard of this." I was like, "What?" And so, the guy came back upstairs with like a bucket, and a
Yeah.
flashlight, and he like gave it to the bartender, and he was like, "Sorry, man, like, I don't wanna, I don't make a scene." And I was like, "Well, it's kinda late for that, man," you know? And then
Yeah.
he was trying to give us his rings because he's like, "I I don't have money to pay for all this stuff, so here, take my rings." And I was like, "No, we don't want anything." It's like,
Oh
I
my
think you should
God.
just go. I think it's time to go home. I said, "Aren't you tired? You did a lot of work down there." You know, so then finally he left, and then the cops show up. And they were like, "Let me ask you a few questions." I was like, "No, you don't get to." Like, we talked to the cops twice. You have all the information you need. Like, he's across the street. Go get him. Like, well, what do you think? Do you think it's mental health? I was like, I don't care to diagnose it. I just want you to go approach him. Like, you have more than enough information. We have video
Yeah.
footage of him breaking
Yeah.
into things, you know. And so then, I told the cop at one point, I was like, "Yo, go fuck yourself, man. I'm done talking to you." And I was like, "Yo, James." The guy's name was James. And across the street, he like turned around. He's like, "What?" I was like, "See, that's him." He just acknowledged that's him. That's James. Like he's the one in the video footage who like broke a lot of stuff. So anyway, the cops were absolutely useless. They were like debating on what to do. They couldn't act on the like in the moment. They were like debating like their plan of attack, and it took an hour for them to get there. In an hour, this guy had managed like break pipes, break a lot of their expensive bottles of booze, and yeah, it was a lot of damage. And everyone left because they're uncomfortable. Because as we're upstairs, we just hear all this banging, and we're like, "This is not good. This is not good." But
Oh
for
my
those
God.
ROTC kiddos to like handle some shit without a moment's notice, like that's really impressive.
Yeah, I feel like that's maybe what someone should have done there. Send those cards to see kids to the bar.
At one
This was
point, the
good.
bartender went downstairs to go see what was happening, and I went with him. He said, "You can't come down here." I was like, "I'm not letting you go down there by yourself. It's just not. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's two
Yeah,
against
that's
one."
crazy.
And I like told myself, I'm like, "You might have to get in a fight. It is what it is."
Yeah, that's crazy. Ooh, anyways, wild. It is time now for not the drag queens, which we'll try to fly through since we have quite a bit to get to. But of course, this is the part of the show where we check in on who's actually getting accused of doing creepy stuff to kids. And spoiler alert, it's almost never drag queens. So this story comes from the South Carolina newspaper, the Post and the Courier, and they recently looked into an old set of FBI interview notes connected to the whole Jeffrey Epstein investigation, and one that we reported on right here in the FratChat podcast during our Epstein episode earlier this season. So check that out. We have a lot of details on a lot of the stuff that's actually becoming relevant now, so it's still pretty good to listen to it. So, according to the FBI memos, a woman told investigators back in 2019 that she was sexually abused as a minor in the early 1980s by Epstein, and also accused Donald Trump of assault during the time. The woman said she met Trump through Epstein when she was between 13 and 15 years old. In her account to the FBI, She claimed that during one encounter, Trump tried to force her to perform oral sex. She said she bit him while trying to get away and that he hit her afterwards. Again, these are allegations from the FBI interview notes. She also told investigators that Epstein later blackmailed her with nude photos and that the situation got so bad that her mother allegedly ended up embezzling money from her job to try to pay off the blackmail. Now, here's where the newspaper reporter comes in. The journalists at the Post and Courier didn't say they could prove the assault claims themselves, but they did verify several of the surrounding details from the woman's story. For example, she told the FBI that Epstein once took her to see a concert by Rick James in Georgia when she was about 15. The newspaper then checked records and confirmed that Rick James actually was performing in Georgia during the time frame she described. They also found court records showing her mother was charged with embezzlement, which lines up with a part of the story about trying to pay off blackmail. And a number of other details about her family history match public records. These FBI memos were recently added to the public database of Epstein-related files by the Department of Justice. Some documents were previously hidden and others were removed, which has fueled even more debate about transparency around the Epstein case. Now, of course, Trump officials deny the accusations, which is consistent with how they've responded to similar claims before, saying it's fake news. And the woman also reportedly stopped cooperating with the FBI after she said she began receiving death threats and experienced several incidents when someone tried to run her off the road. Meanwhile, Congressman Robert Garcia, no relations, has called for Trump to testify about his past relationship with Epstein, saying if these are questions from survivors and the public, they should be answered under oath. And polls show that a lot of Americans across political parties don't feel like we've gotten the full story yet when it comes to the Epstein files. But once again, here we are. Another story involving powerful men connected to Epstein and somehow still not a drag queen in sight.
Well, I don't know, because Donald Trump does wear an awful lot of makeup.
That's true.
Don't
He
you
kinda got
argue.
it. And he's very sassy too. So,
Sassy pants.
maybe that is very
He's got
true.
big
Makeup.
fucking tatters.
That's right. And he wears high heels. So,
Mhm.
that's why he stands like this. Because of the heels.
Except all the drag queens I know have bigger hands.
That's true. That's very true. That's his problem. Maybe that's why he's so mad at them. They just didn't let him in. My hands are
Yeah.
perfectly acceptable. Believe me. You should see what I do to my little shrimp down there. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
I was beauty.
It's a little mushroom ween.
It usually takes me a while to find it, but once I do, baby, you should see what I do down there. I can't believe me. Me and my tweezer go to town. Oh shit. Yeah. It's not the drag queens, people. The call is coming from inside the house. And the house seems to be the White House, which is pretty fucked up. So don't drop on the Epstein thing, you guys. This whole war, everybody knows, even a lot of Americans, I believe it saw that something like over 60% of Americans believe that the Iran war is just the distraction of the Epstein files. So don't let go of pressure. You can be outraged at the Iran war or have your thoughts about it, and also care about Epstein and that situation. Just compartmentalize. Keep pressuring on them. That's the only way anything's ever done. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Did you see that Melania gave a speech and she said something about she's like, as a visionary. I was like, what? Who? No, you're not.
Don't call yourself a visionary.
You're a dumb mail order bride that was trafficked over here by Epstein allegedly. And you're no different than a prostitute, bitch. You kidding me? They say that she speaks 7 languages. Is stupid bitch one of those languages? There's no way that she speaks 7 languages.
I want to see that on tape. I want to see her answering questions that's not rehearsed. 7 languages, my ass. And that's like giving yourself a nickname. You don't call yourself a visionary. That's something that other people have to call you after years and years of like kicking ass and taking names and whatever business you choose to be in. Like if you actually make something that grows and becomes, what the fuck have you done, bitch? What are you talking about? Visionary. I don't even know you know what that word means.
Didn't Donald Trump send her to like give a speech at like the UN or something?
Oh, I don't know, but they're not happy with him right now. And the NATO countries are pissed too. Spain and Italy said that they're not partaking in the Iran war anymore. Others are expected to follow suit because of obviously the energy crisis that's resulting as a result. That's perfect English, Carlos. Yeah. So it's the world is getting crazy.
I don't think that people realize that. Well, first of all, a couple of things with the Iran war, or is it pronounced Iran? Iran. I know we got to get to our topic, but I just want to say something really quick.
Yes.
I think that Donald Trump said that the Iranians stole their tomahawk and bombed their own like girls' school, which is not true. And I think that not only is this situation scary, but like once you like bomb the city, like it destroys the air quality, and there's like acid rain, and like there like the whole city's dealing with like the aftermath of all this like destruction. Is really sad. It's really, really sad and scary, and the civilians, they don't deserve this. Anyway,
Totally. It's ultimately who's suffering. So it is time to get to it, you guys.
yes,
On that very depressing note. Good Lord.
the
It's time
world's
to bring
scary,
people up, you know.
and it's all
Time to
Donald
bring
Trump's
people up.
fault.
It's time to motivate the people. Let's take a second. Let's stretch it out, people. Bring the happy juices back up. Make you feel better. And take a trip down nostalgia road. Because the internet has given us a lot of incredible things. You can learn new skills, you can start a business, reconnect with old friends, watch documentaries, discover new music, and access basically all of human knowledge instantly, including porn. Somehow, we use that power to invent viral challenges. People eat laundry detergent, voluntarily pass out and shit for no reason. That's right. This week, we're talking about the worst viral challenges the internet has ever produced. And let me tell you, the internet has produced some fucking wild ones over the years. Some are harmless but embarrassing. Some are painful. Some are unbelievably stupid. And a few of them are so dangerous, doctors, parents, and entire news networks have to step in and say, hey, maybe don't do that. So, today we're counting down the top 10 worst viral challenge. One that made the internet collectively look like it's lost its mind. We're going to start with some of the dumber ones. Of course, slowly work our way up to the challenges that made you question whether humanity truly deserved Wi-Fi. So let's hit it, Mr. Mel. Let's get stupid. I feel like I lost brain cells going back and reminiscing about these because I do remember.
I think some of them are actually kind of funny.
I know some of them are kind of hilarious.
Some of my favorite videos, but
so you wanna start us off, Mr.
yeah,
Mel?
I'm not gonna lie. I understand there's a lot of like backlash for this one, and a lot of groups felt that it was very humiliating to children. But I think it's hilarious.
I don't remember that shit.
So this is just the cheese challenge. It's so stupid, but I think it's so funny. So basically, parents threw slices of American cheese at their babies' faces and filmed their reactions. And normally the kids would be crying, just throw cheese, and it would stick to the baby's forehead for like a second.
Yeah, like it would like be on there, and then the baby's like...
So the babies just look confused, some of them annoyed, but like parenting groups online really rose to the trend. I don't think it was that serious, but like people even went as far to be like, "That's abuse." Is it? It's just cheese. Like,
It's not abuse, Karen. Relax. If anything, it's a little wasteful unless you eat the cheese after. But I don't know how.
ugh, I hate American cheese. Now, if it was like mozzarella, I'd be like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! Don't waste good cheese."
I guess you can put it on a cheeseburger after, and the heat will, make it get melty, and you can kill the germs. But babies are fucking gnarly with germs. They're adorable and all, people, but that cheese should definitely go in the trash or be fed to the dog afterwards. But no, that one. Wow. Yes, admittedly stupid, was funny to me. I enjoyed it.
I like those
I don't think
videos.
it's something that. Yeah, I think if I watch my dad throw cheese in my fucking forehead as a baby when I'm grown up, I would find it endearing and funny, and not be like, "What the fuck?" There's worse things you can do to your kids for entertainment, and for some reason, most of the videos that I saw, the baby kind of looked like it had it coming. I don't know what it is. Maybe they had just shit or something, but they just had these faces that when the cheese would like, ugh. And they'd start, I'd kind of be like, "Yeah, fuck you, baby. You had it coming. That's what you get, you little bastard." So that's just me.
I'm all for throwing things at babies. I'm all
That's
for
right.
it. Throw more things at
hurt
them.
'em. That's right. We try the anvil baby challenge.
You know what, Karen? If you're so upset about that, how about you throw the baby back at the cheese and get even?
That's right. That's how you get even.
Yeah.
Totally against that.
Well, what's your first one?
All right. So, this first one for me is one that was actually one of the biggest viral trends of the 2010s. And it was the ice bucket challenge, where, in 2014, the idea was simple here. Someone would dump a bucket of ice water on their head on camera, post a video online on social media, donate to ALS research, and then challenge a few other people to do the same thing within 24 hours. ALS is obviously a terrible disease. So it was a good cause. It's like a progressive, fatal, neurodegenerative disease that kind of destroys like your neurons in your brain and shit. And
it's a Lou Gehrig disease, right?
Correct. Exactly. So, and then you would challenge people to do the same thing within 24 hours. So then it would kind of set off a chain reaction. And this was the only viral challenge where people were like, "I'm going to dump freezing water on myself for charity." And the internet went, "Finally, a reason to do so." And the challenge absolutely exploded across like Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, with celebrities, athletes, politicians, and regular people all joined in. And even I fucking did it. So
I did
everyone
too.
from Bill Gates, yeah, everyone from Bill Gates to random dudes in their backyard, like Seymour and I, were filming themselves getting blasted with freezing water. And to be fair, it actually really worked. The campaign raised over $100 million for ALS research, which helped fund major scientific breakthroughs. So unlike most internet trends, this one genuinely did some good. But visually, the optics were still kind of wild. Because when you zoom out, and this is just me, the internet basically turned into like millions of people dumping buckets of clean water on themselves for likes, Like, meanwhile, there's like some dude in like Flint, Michigan, where people, can't even drink their tap water safely for years. So you got a guy who's turning on his faucet and getting brown mystery water while someone's on Instagram like, "Hey guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Will I dump 5 gallons of perfectly drinkable water on my head?" Woo! So, somewhere there's a guy in his village in Africa where he's like, "Wait, they have water? And they're just fucking throwing it away?" Because, again, great cause, but the visual contrast is a little insane. Maybe we could have done something else rather than clean buckets of drinking water, in my opinion. But that's just me. They raised $100 million. So who am I
We
to
should
fucking
start
disagree, right?
like a trend. I wonder what like a trend. I wonder what like the like magic like rules or I guess what the how to make it the most successful. I'm trying to think of the terminology, but what are the like components of like a successful trend? It has to be like easy to do and like, cheap, and it has to be somewhat competitive for people to say, "Oh, I can do that better." You know what I mean?
Well, it has to get
'Cause
you lots of likes on the internet. You know,
yeah,
you look like it has to make you look cool and like you're doing something good at the same time. You know, because people are
yeah.
like, "Hi, I'm Carlos, and I'm gonna do my ice bucket challenge. Up next, I nominate Chris, and Chris. Yeah, you know, like you gotta like have that bullshitty look too. So, and you have to physically look sexier after doing it, like dumping water on yourself. You know, you look pretty
In a
attractive
white
after that.
T-shirt.
Yeah, buddy. So, you know, girls do that shit, or they're like pull off their hair like that, and you know, it and it's a way to connect with your crushes. Yeah, because then you challenge people you like on the internet to do your fucking challenge. So if it helps get you laid and likes, people will do it. So the two L's.
You know what? My old boss in Chicago nominated me for it, and then I did the challenge with my staff. But there's no sexy time. I didn't get laid from it.
My
I
own
didn't even get a
crush.
bonus. I probably just got like a head cold. Anyway, so my next one is also like stupid, and I did this one too. I don't know, and I don't think I got that many likes. But on TikTok especially, this is pretty popular. This is the tortilla slap challenge. Um, inspired
Okay,
by it was inspired by Carlos's cuisine and what you
that's
can
right.
find on the floor of Carlos's car. Um,
Correct.
so basically, two people hold water in their mouths. They play rock, paper, scissors, and the winner slaps the loser with a tortilla until someone laughs and spits the water out. So the
Yep.
entire skill is literally just like not laughing while being slapped with tortillas.
But also, it's not necessarily not laughing, but also being a good tortilla slapper was key because there were the people who didn't know how to swing it, and the tortilla would kind of like fold up, and it was like, you know. But there's the people that would fucking like, I don't know if they got it wet before, but they would fucking like wham, and the tortilla would make this beautiful sound. They just whatcha, and you know it kind of hurt too.
My
And it would
coworker
just like
John slapped the shit out of me.
see, and it makes it so much harder not to laugh when you feel that tortilla smacking sound going across the face. So there's definitely skill to it, but yeah, being able to poker face that shit is not easy. So I did enjoy watching it. I have a thing with getting slapped where I absolutely hate it. So I don't know if I'd do well in that game. That's why I was like, not for me. That's a challenge that most of the other challenges I might have tried at one point or another, but definitely not getting slapped. Like I feel like I would just get annoyed and hit way too hard or take it somewhere that's not supposed to go. It's like I don't know what it is about getting slapped. It's like insulting to me, you know? I don't know. But it was hilarious to watch. I'm not gonna lie. Spent a lot of time watching people, especially celebs that would do it and shit. You know, it's funny. So, again, the waste of food though. Like fucking those tortillas, all saliva it up. That's why I'm like, come on, man. Can we pick something else? I don't know what makes a funnier sound than tortilla, which I guess would be the counterpoint. But it's like we keep wasting food and shit that people could use. Like between the last two challenges, you got yourself a quesadilla right there that I said. The cheese challenge, or the ones that you said, the cheese challenge and the tortilla slap challenge. That's a quesadilla right there.
You know, though, I will say that I feel like whenever I make quesadillas at home or like burritos or tacos or whatever, I always have like a half a pack of tortillas that just goes bad in the fridge. I never use them all.
Oh man, that's the honestly, that's the beauty of having like Julie. That like between the two of us, a pack of 8 tortillas as as dinner. 4 tacos each. We're good to go. So maybe if you weren't alone.
Womp, 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 womp.
We've actually been on a big taco kick recently, and because I've been making like a whole chicken or something, and then we just shred it up. Make a little guac, cut a little tomatoes, get some shredded cheese, and we got tacos, and it's so easy, so delicious. I made lobster tacos the other day. I made pork tacos recently. Like, you can do so many different kinds of things, and it's just so much cheaper too of a meal, and it's not so bad. Like, most of the stuff in it's not terrible for you. So yeah, tacos. Mm-hmm.
I actually think that like a lot of like Latin cuisine is actually pretty healthy. It's just that when you go to like to Chipotle, the serving sizes are like crazy.
The
So like,
portions
that's
are
not
massive.
healthy. But if you think of like pico de gallo, some fresh salsa, it's good for you. And
Totally.
like grilled
Totally.
chicken is good for you.
Yeah. If Chipotle is like the only major meal you're having during the day, that's like if you're not having dinner or whatever, just do dinner, then you're good. But if you're then having dinner after eating that shit for lunch, or you have lunch and you're eating that shit for dinner, then it's just way too big of a portion. Yeah, absolutely. But it is good. I'd be pissed if they made the portion smaller at the same time. So it's like a catch 2020. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, on to the next one.
This
one was it's like the dumbasses with ego challenge. It should have been called, but it's the cinnamon challenge, which became popular on YouTube and social media around 2011. And the goal here was to try to swallow a full spoonful of ground cinnamon in under a minute without drinking any water, which sounds super easy until you realize that cinnamon is an extremely dry powder that instantly sucks all the moisture out of your mouth. So it's basically the only challenge. From the moment you start, your body immediately goes, absolutely the fuck not. And you just start like dry heaving. And watching cinnamon challenge videos would feel like, honestly, watching someone discover lungs for the first time. The moment people try to swallow it, their body would immediately reject the idea. And it was usually these like people, mostly men with huge egos, who thought, oh, it's a spoonful. This is ridiculous. And then afterwards, they're sitting there dying like, call 911. So most videos follow the exact same pattern. Someone would confidently take the spoonful, try to swallow it down, and then instantly start coughing like uncontrollably as a giant cloud of cinnamon powder blasted out of their mouth like a cartoon explosion. Like, it looked like they just inhaled drywall dust. So doctors, this became so prevalent that doctors literally started warning people that cinnamon powder can irritate the lungs and throat, and inhaling it can actually cause breathing problems, which is how we got to a moment in human history where medical professionals had to literally publicly say, please stop inhaling your spice rack on YouTube, people. It is bad for you.
Also, cinnamon like isn't cheap.
No, it's actually not.
Spices aren't that cheap. And so what a waste.
No.
If someone went through my like spice cabinet and was like, I'm gonna waste this for TikTok, I'd be like, get out. Get out.
No, fuck no. That's one thing that you don't realize is expensive until like you move and you have to like buy a bunch of them, you know what I mean, at once, or like like all of a sudden you're out of salt, pepper, garlic, and whatever, and you oregano, and then you buy it and it's like $17. So what the fuck? Yeah, they're not cheap. They're not cheap, and it again funny to watch because like it's these overconfident morons, but like you can fucking die. You kind of need to breathe, people.
I don't know if this is true or not, but when I was younger, I remember people used to chew big red bubble gum, and they would take the wrapper it came in and put it on their forehead, and they said it would burn. Is that true?
Ooh, probably, because whatever's on the big red to make it spicy would be on the wrapper, so you can, it's like if someone gave you a treat some sexy time down below orally after eating hot sauce, it's gonna burn.
Ugh.
Or like after having mouthwash, it's gonna like feel like weird, tingly mouthwashy, you know? Yeah, that shit can happen.
No, whenever I have some gay friends who are like, I love eating ass. I'm like, why? Ew.
Ugh.
You need therapy.
I don't get it. I truly don't get it.
I don't either. I'm like, oh,
Community and Nemeth.
Nemeth likes to eat ass.
Yes, he talked about it on the show. That's why I usually don't reference people, but he's hosted the show a couple times. He talked about it on the last time he was on.
Nemeth, do better.
Yeah, man. He eats the booty.
Talking about cinnamon is making me thirsty.
I know. I was actually having the same thought, dude. And I was like, why am I getting so thirsty? Yeah, because I'm talking about fucking dry ass cinnamon.
My gosh.
I wonder if the listeners are thirsty. Let us know. FratChatPodcast@gmail.com. Did this make you thirsty? Sponsored by Aquafina.
Aquafina, the most mouth-watering water ever.
Give us money, Aquafina, now. That's how this works, right?
Sponsor us. Okay, so next up, this challenge, I think it's like really unsanitary. I think it's gross. I don't know why people thought this was funny. I also think you can like choke and die. So this is a cereal in mouth challenge. And basically, one person lies down with their mouth open while someone else pours milk and cereal into their friend's mouth and then eats out of their friend's mouth with a spoon. So basically you're just using like a human mouth as a cereal bowl. That's so gross.
Oh my God. That is the grossest shit I've ever seen. I am seeing it done right now.
Ugh.
That is nasty. I could never. It's like almost like sharing bubble gum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ew, dude.
Pretty gross.
Ew, man. And yeah, you could like choke. If a cereal thing, like someone pours the fucking thing, just goes right down your throat wrong, you're going to die. Plus, if for some reason, I think it's worse when dudes are doing it than when girls are doing it. Like I'm watching two bros do it now, and like that looks fucking disgusting.
It's fucking
like they look like they're making out.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this is not cool. What the fuck? That one I didn't even know about. Why would you even do that? That's not even. That's like just tell them you have a crush already at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a long way to go to just try to like make out with your buddy. I don't know. Like the next step up is like pretend like you're dying, so they have to do CPR on you, type of situation that you see, like the Sandlot. That's kind of like the next scheme that you can pull off there.
Forever.
Killing me, Smalls. Yeah, no, that is fucking gross. And plus, I'm not gonna lie, man. Like obviously, I love making out with people, but the human mouth is almost
dirty.
As more disgusting than your ass. It is dirty. Most people's mouth is fucking dirty as shit. It's full of germs, full of disgusting shit. Most people don't brush their teeth right, and most people don't floss that often or correctly at all. So like, there's all kinds of breakfast, lunch, and dinners from days past, all floating in that mouth when you're sticking that spoon in there to try to fucking eat cereal off it. Nah, I don't need that shit added to my Lucky Charms.
You know what else? If you hold in a fart, it comes out your mouth. Did you know that?
Very relevant.
So you're eating a fart cereal.
That's right. That's what Toucan Sam wants to follow his nose, because there's a fart coming out of there and you got to get the fuck out of here. Oh man. Yeah, that is disgusting. I think that's like the grossest one on the list. The rest are very stupid, but this one just flat out grosses me out. Like gross.
Anyway, what do you have next?
On to the next one.
This one I think is very
And this
dangerous.
next one, yes, extremely dangerous. One that I still cannot believe that this shit happened. But the Tide Pod challenge was a thing in early 2018. And it's one of the strangest internet trends because it didn't really start out as a challenge. It started out as a meme with people online joking that Tide Pods look like, brightly colored candy or fruit snacks. And they were called forbidden snacks because they look weirdly delicious, even though everyone knew they were obviously toxic, which I agree. They kind of do look like almost like fruit gushers or something.
Yeah.
Ginormous fruit gushers. But eventually, a few YouTubers decided to take the joke literally and film themselves biting into larger detergent pods on camera. And then the news picked up the story and reported on it constantly. So then headlines started talking about a supposed Tide Pod challenge sweeping the internet. So Tide Pod challenge is weird because it started as a joke, but then the news reported so aggressively that teenagers were like, wait, we're supposed to eat them for likes? So it literally led to one of the most embarrassing public service announcements of all time, where detergent companies and doctors having to beg teenagers not to eat laundry soap because it's not really good for you. So people imagine like you're a scientist who helped invent Tide Pods, right? You spent 10 years perfecting laundry technology, and now teenagers are reviewing the flavor. It's like, what the fuck were you thinking? Luckily, this was in the past, so now RFK can go back to putting them in his cereal every morning, to feed the worm. It's so good, kids. It's got all the nutrients you want, America. Just put it right in your ear. Oh, there you go, wormy. So good. Yeah, this is like the news fucking freaking people out about it actually made this become more of a trend than it would have been if they didn't just try to make it a cool headline, So this was dumb. Just dumb. I can't believe people ate detergent.
I feel like being a parent's gotta be so scary. I think little kids put like anything in their mouths, when they're real little, like toddlers.
right.
You gotta be careful. You can't leave like a Lego around because they're gonna choke on it, So like that's being scary. But then like when they're that too. But then like when they're like young adults, you also have to worry about them putting things in their mouth. It's like we were past that stage.
Yeah.
And I think that like, if I was a parent, I'd be so scared that like my kids, like my teenagers would like become parents and would not practice safe sex, or like that would be like a fear of mine. But then to introduce a new unlocked fear that they would die from like eating
detergent
pod, like that's horrifying. Like it's gonna be so scary to be a parent. There's so many things that your kids can do that think are funny that can really hurt them. That's horrifying.
Totally. Because it's not like, for example, toothpaste, sure, it can be great for you to eat a lot of it, but like you can eat some toothpaste and be fine. There's chemicals in it, but like it's supposed to, like if you consume it by accident or on purpose, it's not going to kill you. But detergent, it's like all of like the chemicaliest chemicals of all time. What world makes you think you can fucking eat that and be okay? Like you have to be really a complete fucking idiot. Like it's not even about wanting clout anymore. It's about just being a complete fucking idiot to think that you can swallow detergent and be fine. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Just eat some gushers.
Yeah, right. Gushers are delicious. They already exist for a reason. You don't need to fucking get Tide Pods. Smash them all together if you need a really big one and make a super gusher if you want. Eat the whole bag at the same time. You'll get the same feeling. But it's like, come on, dude. Or do a bukkake if you want a big creamy goo.
Yeah. Ooh, prom night flashback. Okay. Next up, what I got is called remember the milk crate challenge?
Yes, dude. I think that created more handicapped people than football, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
That is.
So you basically stack up these milk crates into, I don't know, like a pyramid, and you try to
Yep.
climb over them without falling.
Yeah, there would be
Uh,
like
the
almost
stairs.
like stairs up, and then like a pyramid, and then you have to go back down. So it would be like an even thing, and literally it's like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or whatever. And obviously, the higher up you go, the wobblier you start getting on those things. So it would be who can actually walk up all the way to the middle and then come all the way back down without falling off, which kind of like the cinnamon challenge drew a lot of really confident people to try
So
this
like
shit.
one crate is like a foot tall. It's like if you're walking on 5 crates stacked up, you're 5 feet above ground, and so
Yeah.
like no one on all the ones I saw, no one ever had like pillows or a mattress or like anything soft to land on.
Nowhere to land. And like I guess some people did it in their backyards, but they never landed in the grass.
Horrible. So like obviously the crates collapsed easily, but a lot of people suffer from like broken bones, torn ligaments, and there's even like some spinal injuries on record.
Oh
So
yes, dude. Because people would literally like this thing is the middle here, and people would literally just like fall off and land right on their back.
yeah.
So like we're like, whoa, and like them trying to stay on the thing rather than just jumping off and taking the L would keep them in the worst spot, so they would just fall completely backwards and like fatality themselves, in the worst way to land. It looks so fucking painful. People would land on their shoulders. People would land on their ankles. People would land on their heads. Like I I'm not going. It was interesting to watch people try it because it's kind of like watching a ghetto version of American Ninja Warrior. You know what I mean? It's like who can do it? It was all these like drunk rednecks too. Like I can totally fucking do it. So sometimes it was fun to watch these people get what was coming to them. But good Lord, man, a lot of those people didn't have insurance too. So
There were a lot of older people, yeah, that did this too, right? It wasn't just kids, like older people. I'm like, why don't you
correct.
like take your kids outside and play catch? Or if you really want to challenge, try to run a 5K in under 20 minutes. Like there's other things that are more productive. Come
I think this
on.
is why God gave us COVID, because this happened around August of 2021. So it was like, nah, we got to kill some of these morons. They're out here killing themselves in the worst way. Let's make
Crazy. Here's a fun challenge. Try to meal prep.
Yeah.
What the
That's
fuck?
a real
People are
challenge.
so weird.
Try to meal prep and then still be eating the meals you prepped by day 3 during the week and not going out. That's the hardest part. Meal prepping, it's already difficult, but then by day 3, it's like, fuck, do I really want this chicken again?
You know what happens to me is I'll smoke a bowl and then I've eaten all 5 meals in one sitting.
Yeah, that too. I've totally done that. Especially because the containers to put them in are usually not that big, so you don't necessarily get as big of a portion as you would if you were like at home for dinner. You know what I mean? So, and you don't want that person. You don't want to be that person like bringing a lunchbox with like 19 different containers either. Like you want to keep it movable. Crazy shit. Yeah, that's difficult. Don't break your back in a milk crate, people. I feel like we're giving people ideas now, and I hope they don't take it that way. But anywho, up next on the list, I'm going to go with one that I think barely qualifies as a challenge. I really think this is more like attempted murder, but it was a challenge, and it was called the Skull Breaker Challenge. I don't know if you remember the Skull Breaker Challenge. And this one was in early 2020. Again, people were just looking for the dumbest challenges. And it involved 3 people standing next to each other, like 1, 2, 3 in a straight line. And they will all jump at the same time. However, the 2 people on the outside would kick the legs out from under the person in the middle while they were in the air, which caused the middle person to literally fly straight backwards, often landed on the back or hitting their head literally on the ground, most often in concrete. Now, the videos were usually framed as a prank, where the person in the middle had no idea what was going to happen, and they're sitting there with early onset CTE while their friends are like, like, "Yeah, you got me, man." It's like a streak of blood goes down their forehead. But needless to say, yes, this trend was widely condemned because it could easily have caused serious injuries and people could have fucking died. So calling this a challenge is honestly generous because it was just basically attempted murder with a TikTok soundtrack in the background. You know what I mean? Like calling this a challenge is like saying O.J. Simpson was playing rock paper scissors that night with his wife. You know what I mean? It's like scissors won. No, man, no. But yes, this one became an official challenge.
It's horrible.
Straight to hell I go.
Yeah, that's not.
It's
That
rare
wasn't a
that
nice
you
challenge. I don't like people getting hurt.
no,
Like
no,
sometimes even
no,
like
especially
people
like
even
like if it's like someone getting hurt because of their own accord, like the last challenge, at least they're signing up with the possibility of this happen. But like tricking someone to landing on the back of their head, man, oh no, like you can fucking become like paraplegic or die. So
you know the uh I like challenges that I think are like funny and goofy or whatever where it, like it's zero stakes. Like when people send me
right,
videos that they think are funny, but like someone's getting really hurt. Like let's say they fall off their bike and they skid down the pavement. Like I can't watch stuff like that.
oh
It really makes me cringe.
yeah,
When people like they
yeah,
try they fly out their skateboard and they fall like on a railing and they hit their crotch. Like that's not like fun for me to watch. People send me stuff like that all the time. I'm like, please, I don't want that in my algorithm. You know, I like the challenge where
yeah.
people are like are sitting on a set of stairs and they all have to sing a lyric without laughing. Do you know what I
Totally,
mean? Or it's
yeah,
like,
shit like that.
or like you remember when like
Flying
everyone would,
most things.
remember when they would have um people would line up and one at a time they would be like, show me the money or something, and then the last person that does it, they don't clap for them. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No,
So I think that what would happen is like let's say it's like you, me, and Dan Nemeth.
right,
So we're pranking you. So I
okay,
would do it first, like show me the money or something, and then you guys all start clapping. And then Dan would say,
okay.
show me the money. And then we would all clap. And then you would say, oh, okay, show me the money. And then we'd be silent. And you'd be like, the fuck? So stuff like that to me, I think is like kind of funny. But like
Yeah.
not like cracking your head open on pavement and like
Yeah.
that's not funny.
You're bleeding, loser. You got me, guys. Can you call me an ambulance?
I dove in a pool one
Yeah.
time and hit my head on the floor and got a concussion. That
Yeah.
sucks.
One time, I was in swim practice, and I was told to switch lanes. Like, all right, Carlos, you go over to lane 4 or whatever now. And I don't know why, but I just decided to jump over the lane like that. And I didn't realize how short that pool was. It was like barely 2 feet. So I literally like went over and landed straight on my head.
Ugh.
And the pool is hard as fuck. And I remember just feeling like everything just kind of went white for like a split second, and just feeling like almost like someone just hit a gong on my head. It's like a bang. Yeah. Next thing I know, I'm kind of like looking up and I see the water. Oh, I need to get up. I'm gonna fucking drown. And I stood up, and my coach watched. He's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Ugh, I think so." And I just kept fucking swimming. At the time, no one knew anything about head injuries and shit. I was like 12, so no one knew. CTE was not a term that anyone threw around. It was, oh, I think you got a dinger. It's just, oh, keep swimming. You're fine.
That explains why you
home.
are the way you are. I was wondering.
That's right.
Now it all makes sense.
The flashes of anger randomly, that's definitely.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I love you. See, I want to fucking kill you. That sometimes, it's not my fault. It's the poo. It's the poo. But anyway.
All right, well, this is my last one, and I thought that this one was like incredibly dangerous. So remember the movie with Sandra Bullock called Bird Box?
Yep. Yep. Everybody was
So
blindfolded for whatever reason. Why were they blindfolded again? There was like some monster or something that if they saw
because
them.
if you looked out the window and if you were to see like daylight, I guess, I don't know. Like if you looked outside, you would instantly kill yourself.
Huh.
So there's something in the
Bird
air.
Box.
It wasn't really explained, but like people were like crashing the cars, like jumping out of windows. It was horrifying.
So they were blindfolded to avoid seeing mysterious supernatural creatures that cause anyone who looks at them to instantly go insane and commit suicide.
Yeah.
So they can't be fought. So the only way of survival when traveling outside is to just blindfold yourself and fucking.
Horrifying.
Yeah,
and there's some people that were immune to it because they were mentally ill.
Oh, well, that's good.
Like, ugh. But then they would encourage people to look outside.
It's like, I'm schizophrenic. I see a million things.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, people try to do everyday tasks blindfolded after watching this movie. And so like they would walk through the stores and the grocery shopping like with a blindfold on and knock things over. And I'm sure a lot of store clerks were like, the fuck? They would try cooking blindfolded, which was a disaster.
Oh,
But
stupid.
some people actually tried driving blindfolded that they thought was so funny.
No.
So Netflix actually had to warn people not to injure themselves by doing this. They had to make a statement. Like, really? So stupid.
That's wild, dude.
Let's pretend we're blind. That's fun.
Oh my god. Let me cut through traffic just to see what happens. Again, that's like
so horrible.
Because some of these, like you could do it, like the blindfolded thing, like it could be done right. And you're at home, you're not cooking, you're not starting potential fires. You can do other things that would be funny, like go through an obstacle course or something, or make yourself a sandwich would be funny just to see how you do it with no knives or burning things. So there are ways where you could have done this challenge and have it be entertaining and without risking killing other people. That's where you lose me, where you're like fucking risking someone getting murdered or you're just hugely wasteful. Or like, for example, like at the grocery store, sure, if you knock something over and you pick it up after, it's one thing, but are you fucking just leaving all that shit for then some other guy to then have to do clean up in aisle 5? Because if so, you're a piece of shit. So that was the problem with a lot of these challenges. People's inner piece of shit came out and they would just do things that would hurt other people just to get themselves clout. So that annoys the piss out of me. Personally, people.
Horrible.
Man, Bird Box challenge. How did Bird Box do in box office? I'm curious now.
I think it was straight to Netflix though. I don't think it was in the theaters.
Oh, it did not have a traditional wide theatrical release. So yeah, but it did have a record-breaking 45 million accounts watching it in its first 7 days and 89 million within its first month, which is a lot. So yeah, it did quite well. So I guess the challenge was worth it for Sandra Bullock.
Yeah,
I hope she has money though, because I love me some Sandra Bullock. She's awesome. But anyways, for this last one, I just had to save the one that was the most dangerous, the most stupid, the absolutely dumbest one. And it was called the Blackout Challenge. Because, of course, we had to end here. And this happened in 2008 when the world was just a much dumber place. The internet was almost at its infancy of stupidity. So you could kind of do whatever the fuck you wanted. But the Blackout Challenge involved people intentionally restricting oxygen to the brain until they lost consciousness. So literally, people doing it would try to hold their breath, or they would compress their chest or neck so they would get choked until they passed out while someone recording it. And then some participants claimed the brief loss of oxygen created a short euphoric sensation when they regained consciousness. So this challenge is basically autoerotic asphyxiation with blue balls.
Oh
Of
God.
course, right? Like that's what, if it feels good, like that is literally what that is, dude. What are you doing, people? So medical experts then, of course, had to warn people that cutting off oxygen to the brain can lead to serious injury or even death, because of course it can. And unlike some of the other viral challenges that were just embarrassing or painful, this has been carried extremely serious risk, which is why it often also appears at the top of the list of the most dangerous internet trends. However, what kills me is that people were risking their lives for a video where the comments are just like, bro, skull face emoji, you know? Like, that's it. You almost died for 2 fucking emojis. And nothing says internet fame like, yeah, I almost died. But that video got 37 likes, dude. So humanity invented the internet to share knowledge, and we used it to convince each other to eat soap, inhale cinnamon, light our asses on fire, and pass out for fucking views. God damn it. Evolution is so confused right now. Like, what are you what are we doing, people?
I have a challenge. Learn a new language.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, volunteer.
Like this really is autoerotic asphyxiation on tape, essentially, minus the jerking off, hopefully. Like, that is what the fuck you're doing. What are you doing, people? What are you doing? No. I'm glad this one ended, but good Lord. People are fucking done, man. Chug me, daddy.
Horrible.
That's what that challenge should be called. Chug me, daddy challenge. If you're into it, just come up with a safe word, and there's places that you can hit up. You don't need to choke your friends on fucking TikTok for likes. Like, I feel like, again, this is like the cereal eating challenge.
I don't mind a hand
tell
around
me
my
you like it.
throat during sexy time, to be fair. Just throwing it out
I
there.
feel like my fight or flight mode would kick in, and I would just start like, get up, get Julie with the older one too, and then all of a sudden it wouldn't be fun anymore. So yeah, no, I don't like not being able to breathe. It's not my thing there, people. So, but if you are into that, you can follow Simo at chris.moore.comedy.
Yeah.
And, you guys can come up with your own safe word and shit. It's cool.
Remember on Instagram it used to be Chris Moore Poops too.
That's right. Chris.moore.poops 2. I don't know if there was a dot in between, which made it even more confusing because there was dots in between everything else.
And then some of my friends were like, that's not professional. Like, you should really change that. And even like my coworkers were like, Chris, you should change it. Okay. I love that. Chris Moore Poops too.
Yes.
I thought it was
the
brilliant.
longest Instagram name, especially on stage. Follow me on Instagram at chris.moore.poops 2. But it's the number 2, not the word 2. So remember, if you do the word, you're wrong. Yeah, it was kind of a long thing to say. So I'm glad you made it a little shorter. The outro would take 12 minutes for the show otherwise. So not trying to do all that. But anyways, that, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, frat chatters of all ages, was our list of the top 10 worst viral challenges. So let us know what you thought of that list. Do you remember these challenges? Are there some that you did yourself we missed? Shoot us an email, FratChatPodcast@gmail.com. You can also suggest topics, things you want to talk about. Shoot us an email from the listeners. We love hearing from you. Again, FratChatPodcast@gmail.com. You can also make sure you give us a follow on all social channels at FratChat Podcast. That's on Instagram, that's on Facebook, that's on Threads, that's on YouTube, Twitter/X. You can also check us out as well. Give me a follow. Check out my website, carlosgarciacomedy.com. You can also check me out on the social at Carlos Does the World. On Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Threads, Facebook, Carlos Does the World on Twitter/X. You can follow my good buddy Simo over here, not at chris.moore.poops.2. Follow him at Chris.SeymourComedy on Twitter/X and Chris No, I fucked that up. Now I can't remember your actual one. At Chris Moore Comedy on Instagram and TikTok, and Seymour Comedy on Twitter/X, right?
I don't know. Comedy, I think.
I can only think of
On
it.
Instagram, I think it's Seymour Comedy.
Only the poop. Yes, that's what it is.
It doesn't matter, guys.
Chris.moore.comedy. I was right. On Instagram and TikTok. And Seymour Comedy on Twitter/X. That's what I get for reminiscing. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was our show. But of course, we'll be back next week with another edition of the greatest podcast in the history of podcasts in town. So, Mr. Mo, why don't you please get us out of here?
I motion to adjourn this meeting because I have to poop.
Oh, Chris Comedy poops too. God damn it! Now my brain is exploded. So I seconds number 2. All right, you guys will be back next week for another edition of the greatest podcast in the history of podcasts and time. It's the FratChat Podcast. I'll see ya.
Bye.